700 kills deep, and I still don't know how I feel about this hand cannon. Hey, what's going on? I'm Just Soul. In today's video, we'll be using Palindrome, the new one. The old king of 140s, now brought back and is hand cannon. It definitely gets a hand cannon out of 10 rating. Well, it does bolster an insane stat package, so does Exalted, except for Exalted's god roll doesn't consist of snapshot. It's funny how in their attempt to differentiate the return of Exalted and Palindrome, they made Pally like the worst gun in the game, and then Exalted is the best energy 140 for both PvE and PvP. But that doesn't stop me from coping and saying Palindrome is worth running. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's the best gun I've ever used ever, because that would be Rose. I still think Rose is the best 140 in the game. With that being said, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like and comment. If you want to see more of my content, you subscribe. And with that, let's jump right in. I have never seen the hype around a gun die as fast as Pally's did. It's insane how they tweeted a Palindrome, and everyone's like, dude, Pally's coming back, Pally's coming back, woo! And then we got to see Pally's roll, and people were like, dude, what am I looking at? What did you do to this gun? Because, I mean, it's pretty bad. It's not like they could have just given it, like, oh, just give it rangefinder quick draw again, bro. Wow. Like, dude, those perks are not good. Those perks are nowhere near. What is literally going on? Quick draw and rangefinder are not good anymore. I mean, quick's okay, at least on like primaries. On special events, like on shotties, there's a reason you don't see quick draw anymore. Quick draw rangefinder like wouldn't even be good, even if it had that role. It really sucks because they were really like, hey guys, we're gonna make this the PvE gun compared to Exalted, which was PvP. And then they didn't give it Volt Shot, which is like, dude, you want to make it arc? That's fine. Make it arc. But where's Volt Shot on it? That was like a super sus decision to give it essentially a utility perk. Because, dude, if you think Rolling Storm's a damage perk, you're stupid. I'm just gonna say it. I don't know how you see Rolling Storm as a damage perk. I don't know what it's doing in the second column. It literally doesn't belong there. It is 1000% a utility perk. And like, I just don't see how they think that would compare with Volt Shot. You can look at what is it? One of the traces, I think it's a Guardian Games trace, gets both Rolling Storm and Jolting Feedback, and so does the LMG. The LMG gets Rolling Storm and Jolting Feedback. Nobody is telling you to run Rolling Storm on it because Rolling Storm's not a damage perk. Even Pally's God Roll is Explosive Master of Arms, which that is like the most kinetic weapon God Roll I've ever seen. Like, they pretty much just gave it Fatebringer's God Roll. Except for without Frenzy, which is, in my opinion, way better than Master of Arms. I think Master of Arms sucks ever since they made it the worst damage perk ever. And so it's cooked, like really what they did to Palindrome. I would have picked Exalted with its role. You didn't have to make Pally suck. That's a skill issue. You didn't have to make Pally suck to make me pick Exalted. You gave Exalted Slide Eye, which is my god roll for Rose. It's essentially just an energy Rose, which is really good because that gives you more of a selection on whether you want to go like Prophet of Doom or Scavenger's Fate or Deadlock. It gives more variety so that you don't have to be running essentially exclusively Rose. Exalted's kind of like just a different Rose. So Rose, but purple flavor. The lean Rose. But yeah, they didn't need to make Palindrome suck for me to pick Exalted. They just need to make Exalted good, which is what they did. Exalted's very, very good. But then they went and made Pally horrible. Okay, well, I shouldn't say horrible. I really like the gun. I really do. Mainly because I think To The Pain is really, really strong. To The Pain is like... I as much as I like the... Ooh! Ooh! Wait, that's crazy. Literally perfect. The only thing is I'd have steady rounds over extended, but extended is second best. So, honestly, you're not going to see me complaining. That's crazy. Oh my goodness, dude. Anyway. Sorry, that's so awesome. Saying that Palindrome sucks is not true. I mean, because it still has absolutely insane stats. It still is statted as the second best 140 in the game, other than Exalted Truth. And so to say Palindrome sucks is just not true. Yeah, to say it's not competitive is completely not true. Now, yes, is Exalted just better in every way? Sure. I mean, yeah, it is. It has, you know, better origin traits. It has better stats. It has better perks. It has a smaller model, and so it's easier to see. It sounds weaker. It's a Suros hand cannon, which means it sounds like you're shooting Legos at them. Yeah, it sounds like you're shooting plastic bullets at people, and that's like all I can really complain about Exalted. It just sounds like a weak gun compared to Igneous, which Igneous sounds like you're punching someone in the head every time you shoot it. Also, strange how both of the hand cannons for Trials are in the energy slot. That is the one thing I was kind of worried about. Like, it could have been worse. At the end of the day, because they were so afraid of Exalted and Pally fighting for each other, they could have literally just made Palindrome or Exalted a kinetic weapon, or at least in the kinetic slot, which that would be heartbreaking. Because then they essentially just, like, ruined the gun. Because then now it's, oh, I just literally farm team. I'm so sorry. Because then it's not them two fighting with each other. It's, why would I use this gun when Rose is in this column? You know, Rose and Fatebringer came back at the same time. Use Fatebringer. And that's not even to include all the exotic kinetic slot hand cannons. And so, I'm at least glad that they're still in their correct slots. Yeah, at least they're still energy weapons. Now, am I coping and hoping that maybe in Apollo or maybe in like a later act, they will reintroduce Pally again with perks that don't suck? Yes, I am. Because it's sad looking at something that I've absolutely adored and I've wanted back so badly for it to come back in the state that it came back in. You know what I mean? Oh, honestly, I thought Timmy didn't see him. I was a little worried. I don't like saying it could have been worse, you know, because I'd rather it just be good. But the perks aren't terrible. It really is, like, very clear that Exalted is just better in every way, which is kind of a shame because I don't want it to be that way. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Why did you die? Why did you, dude? Oh, they got a nerf deadlock, dude. This gun's got to stop one-shotting. Holy. It sucks that I can't just be like, oh, well, just don't compare it to Exalted. Because, like when you do that, it just sucks. But at the same time, Exalted's also just the best energy hand cannon in the game, other than Igneous. But, like, a part of me is okay with that, because they are PvP weapons. And so, like, they come from endgame PvP, so they kind of deserve to be really good in PvP. You know what I mean? When you look at, like, now, when you look at the best PvP hand cannons, you have Rose, Criminals, Exalted, and Igneous. And those are all from PvP. And so I can't really be mad, you know? Because then when you look at the best PvE hand cannons, you have Fatebringer and Word of Crota and Zali's Bane and Posterity, all from PvE content. And so it's kind of like, you know, the world is, you know, in equilibrium right now. It just sucks that Pally just doesn't get to be in any of those slots. Like, Pally's just bad. It's not even Pally versus them, right? It's literally just Pally's not good. Literally just the perks are just really mid. You know, a good stat package can only take you so far because, dude, Fatebringer's got a crazy stat package. You know, Fatebringer's is really good. Rose's is really good. Exalted's is literally the best stat package a 140 can get. That doesn't, you know, that's not to say that if you like Pally, that you're, like, wrong or something. Realistically, hand cannons are they're all just, like, feel guns. Like, that's kind of how most guns are, really, in this game. Where it's like, dude, if you like how a gun feels, use it. Enjoy it. There is nothing wrong you liking a specific hand cannon, even though it may not be, like, the meta pick. You know what I mean? But also, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Pally's, it's the best gun in the game. It's back and it's OP, dude. Blah. Like, because that'd make me a liar. Because it's not, which is unfortunate. But also, at least they kind of, like, half succeeded. Because they said that they wanted Exalted to be a PvP one, and they got that part right. They just didn't get the PvE part right. And so I'm totally down with Pally not being the best in PvP if they actually, you know, made it very good in PvE, which they didn't do. And so that's my problem. If Pally actually was the PvE demon, which unfortunately there's really nothing you can do to Palindrome that would actually make that happen. Because one, if it would have kept Void, then it would have been competing with Agent Gospel. Ancient Gospel rolls really well. It would just be literally just another Void hand cannon, except for it would have Destabilizing Demoralize, which is essentially, it would just be Exalted. Like, then we'd have 3 endgame Void hand cannons that all just, like, roll the exact same. It just, we wouldn't get anywhere. You know what I mean? You can only make so good of a Void hand cannon. You know, because you'd run into kind of the problem that our solar hand cannons have, where, like, we have Zallies with Explosive in can, and then Luna's Howl with Heal Clip in can. And so one is, like, more damage, the other one is survivability with Heal Clip. And so all you're really missing is, like, a utility one. So, like, one with, like, Shoot to Loot, or one with Demo. You know, that's, like, really all you can do with Solar at this point, for Solar hand cannon. Or, you know, give us a 180. I don't entirely know why we don't have a 180 Solar hand cannon. That's kind of all we're missing. Like, we have Trust, but Trust is so old and is so outdated in terms of its perks that it could do a lot better. When it comes to Arc, the problem is you have Yesterday's Question, which is that's our 3rd energy Trials hand cannon. Why are they all energy, and why are they all different elements too? This guy is aware, by the way. Yeah, I just not really. That is strange. Got him. So you have Yesterday's Question that gets Dragonfly Volt Shot, and then you have Posterity that gets Frenzy Volt Shot, and then you have Pally that gets Explosive Master of Arms. Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. That just isn't. Like, our selection of the problem with Pally is that if you're gonna make it a PvE gun, it's gonna have to go all out, because our arc PvE hand cannons are insane. Like, they're just good. Like, we already have 2 really good arc hand cannons. You're really putting it up against 2 absolute monsters, and it not having Volt Shot is essentially just what makes it terrible. Because we have Nation of the Beast. I totally forgot about that. We already have a 140. We have a 140 arc hand cannon being Nation of the Beast, and that has Volt Shot Dragonfly as well. And so it's just like, how did you mess this up? that's really what it is. It's like, I love this hand cannon and I'm glad it's back, but how did you mess that up, and how are we where we're at now? To be fair, I'm just gonna step back from it, because Wildstyle dropped very poorly, and then the season after that, they just gave it new perks and didn't tell anybody, but they gave it new perks, and the perks that they gave it were all, like, really good. And so now I actually have a lot of Wildstyles, because I was like, wait, wow, Wildstyle is, like, actually really worth farming. I'm just gonna have to hope Apollo comes out and we get this new weapon tier system, and Palindrome comes in with Rolling Storm Volt Shot, which is really, that's all you had to do. You want to make this thing good in PvE. You want to make this the PvE hand cannon, just like Exalt is the PvP one. Rolling Storm Volt Shot. Mainly because Rolling Storm does not belong in the second column. It's literally a utility perk, and so you should have the utility perk, Rolling Storm, and then the damage perk, Volt Shot, on Palindrome. And then, boom, there's your PvE Arcane Cannon. If you have Palindrome and you enjoy it, keep enjoying it. I really like using it. And if you don't have one, then maybe still go for it, or not, and just wait for it to actually get perks that are even remotely worth going for. Anyway, that's all I've got. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and a comment. If you want to see more of my content, you subscribe. I'm Just Soul, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.